It was a Tuesday evening when I first saw it. I wasn't snooping, not intentionally. My wife's purse had fallen open on the kitchen counter while she went to answer a call. A bottle rolled halfway out, catching the light. At first, I thought it was lotion, but when I picked it up, my chest tightened. Men's lubricant. I froze. My fingers went cold even as my face flushed hot. There was no reason for her to have that, not unless she... I swallowed hard. She had been distant for weeks, laughing more at her phone than at my jokes, smiling into the glow of late-night messages. I told myself it was stress, work, family, but now this? I wanted to storm into the other room, to wave the bottle in her face and demand answers, but instead, something darker slid into me, a quiet decision. If she thought she was clever, I would be cleverer. If she thought she was hiding, I would make her reveal herself. I didn't make a fuss. I just replaced it, not with actual superglue. No, I wasn't a monster. But I emptied the bottle carefully and filled it with clear hair gel. Harmless. Sticky. A trap she'd never see coming. Then I put it back, exactly as I'd found it, and waited. The days that followed were torture. She was sweet with me, too sweet, almost rehearsed. She kissed me on the cheek before leaving, but her perfume lingered longer than her lips. At night, she rolled over before I could touch her, always tired, always distant, until Friday. She said she was meeting a friend for drinks. I nodded, pretending to scroll my phone. I even kissed her goodbye. But the moment the door clicked shut, I grabbed my keys and followed. Her car led me across town, past bars, past restaurants, to a quiet hotel on the edge of the city. My chest hollowed out as I parked far enough away to see, but not be seen. And then I watched her, my wife, my partner of 8 years, meeting a man in a leather jacket. They laughed, touched arms. He pulled her close like he'd done it 100 times. And together, they disappeared inside. I couldn't breathe. My fingers trembled on the steering wheel. My body screamed at me to crash into the lobby and drag her out by the wrist. But my mind whispered, wait, let it happen. Let the trap close. So I waited. An hour passed. The hotel lights glowed against the night sky. My reflection in the windshield looked like a stranger. Hollow eyes, clenched jaw, a man aged by betrayal in a single evening. And then, at last, they emerged. Her hair was messy, her smile brighter than it had been in weeks. But her steps faltered. She looked irritated, confused. The man frowned, wiping his hands against his jeans, as though trying to rid himself of something unpleasant. They argued, voices too faint for me to hear, but her face burned red with frustration. She stormed to her car. He followed, shouting something that made her spin on her heel and slap him across the face. The crack echoed in the night air. Then she got her car and sped away, leaving him stranded. I sat there, trembling with a twisted sense of satisfaction. My little trick hadn't just exposed her. It had shattered the illusion between them. Whatever game she thought she was playing, it was over now. When she came home later, she tried to act normal. She slipped into bed quietly, thinking I was asleep, but I kept my breathing steady, my body still. In the dark, I could smell him on her. That leather jacket cologne. That betrayal. In the morning, I made coffee. She joined me, her face pale, her hands shaky. She avoided my eyes. For once, she didn't reach for her phone. Silence stretched like a rope between us. Finally, I spoke. How was your night? She froze. Just a second, but I saw it, the flicker of panic in her eyes. The memory of what went wrong. Fine, she said too quickly. Just drinks with Sarah. I smiled, slow and heavy. Sarah doesn't wear leather jackets, does she? Her cup slipped, clattering against the table. Coffee spilled across the wood, spreading like ink over a confession. Her lips parted, searching for words, but none came. I leaned back, watching her crumble. Next time you decide to cheat, at least make sure your little props work properly. Otherwise, things get sticky. Her face drained of all color. She knew. She understood. She didn't need me to explain. The silence that followed was worse than shouting, worse than violence. It was the sound of a marriage hollowing out, brick by brick, until only dust remained. She tried to speak again, but I stood, pushing away from the table. Save it. Whatever excuse you think you've got, I don't want to hear it. You already said everything you needed to say when you checked into that hotel. Her eyes filled with tears, but I felt nothing. No pity, no love, just emptiness. That night, I packed a bag. She begged, pleaded, cried, but it was over. The trust had been broken long before I found that bottle. The trap only revealed what had already been true. As I closed the door behind me, she called my name one last time, desperate and hollow, but I didn't turn back. Because sometimes betrayal doesn't end in fire or screaming or shattered glass. Sometimes it ends in silence, in the soft slam of a door, in the echo of footsteps fading away.